Good morning. Come read with us. Come read with me. I am reading from my second book called It Takes Two. It's a little bit me and a little bit you. And this book is written in my voice and Dale's voice. This chapter is called Wildlife, and it was this is written in Dale's voice. Not too long after I was assigned to the 4th Division, we were assigned to Hill 138, which is a fire base camp that had 1.055 howitzers and also 1.55 howitzer artillery guns on the hill. The parameters consisted of bunkers all around the hill. One side of the hill that I was on was a finger, which meant that a little way down there was a piece of a mountain that kind of formed a finger. On this finger, we would send a patrol out there to be listening post at night and an observation post during the day. When you were on a hill, all the trees for 100 yards were cut down, and then wire was strung all around the hill. There were booby traps set, trip wires, and all that stuff. They were explosive booby traps. When a mine goes off, it sends off all this double-aught buckshot. The booby traps were 8x10 pieces of plastic with double-aught buckshot packed in high plastic explosives. Anything in the killing zone, which is 20 by 30 feet wide by 100 feet long, would have been dead meat. You got the booby traps and the trip wires. Good morning. If anyone trips the wires, flares would go off and you would be able to see them. There was this finger that goes out to the clearing. We would send men out there during the day. It was an observation post. They had a command view of everything around that side of the mountain. Then at night, as a listening post, they would set up a tent made out of 2 ponchos. One soldier would sleep while one was on guard duty. Then they would switch. Somebody was awake at all times. They had a radio. If they heard anything unusual, they would report it to the command center at the top of the hill. On this particular night, at 1 o'clock in the morning, in the merry, merry month of May, I had already completed my 2 hours of guard duty and I was sleeping. I heard this terrible screaming that woke me up. I got out of the bunker. The screaming seemed to be coming from down the hill where the listening post was. So I went over to that area where the trail leads down to the listening post with about 30 other guys that woke up from the screaming and the trip flare that went off. What tripped the flare was a huge tiger. We just stood and stared at that tiger. Now, everyone had a weapon in his hand, but nobody thought to shoot the tiger. We were awestruck by the beauty and the size of it and the fact that it was there. It just stood there and stared at us for the whole time. The flare was burning about 30 seconds. It seemed like a lot longer. Then it took 2 or 3 bounds and went down over the hill and out of sight.